Okay, if we didn't meet last night, I'm John Katzenberger, the director of the Aspen Global Change Institute. And some of you haven't been here before, so I'll just give a quick history. We were founded in 1989. I co-founded it with Rick Chappell from NASA. And the idea was to further the dialogue, interdisciplinary dialogue in Earth system science and global environmental change. We had a number of sessions in the early 90s that I think helped a lot in bringing social scientists and natural scientists together, and we still strive to do that. In your packets later, you can take a look at some of the past meetings, and you'll get a flavor of the kinds of things that have gone on here over all these years. Um, we're in our 17th summer, and we have had support from NASA throughout all of these years, but also more sporadically support from the National Science Foundation, NOAA, Department of Energy, and the EPA. And we also, from time to time, get private foundation support, which helps supplement what we're doing in the summer as well as year-round. And the last several years, that's been from the Packard Foundation and also from the Hewlett Foundation, which are two totally different family foundations that came from the founders of Hewlett Packard. I'd like to invite you on Wednesday at lunchtime to sign up on a sign-up sheet that'll be on the back table for a discussion over lunch of future topics of the Institute. People that have been here before know that we solicit ideas from the group that make a short list that goes to the federal agencies and discussions about, and to my advisory board for discussions about what would be appropriate topics for the coming years. So we're looking at next summer as well as the summer after, or even 3 years from now. And sometimes the topic selection is driven by kind of a need in the gaps that exist in Earth system science understanding. Sometimes the topics are driven more by something that needs to be addressed prior to some international discussion. This meeting has some of that flavor to it, as Jerry will explain. So on Wednesday, please sign up for that if you're interested. And what we do, if you're interested also, we can take like a straw vote towards the end of the week in terms of what you all think is the most important topic that's been surfaced by the group here. And often the federal agencies find it very interesting to hear from the bottom up what researchers are thinking is most important, because it doesn't necessarily exactly match anyway with their missions. And finally, the funding agencies look for product, and our number one product is that there'll be some cross-learning between the disciplines, that you'll go away with some new ideas, that you might incorporate these ideas into your future research. Ideally, there might even be collaborations that are spawned in such a meeting as this. So it's kind of a fuzzy product, but it's the one that we bring back to the federal agencies, and depending on the program managers, those ideas are received warmly or not so warmly. They also like to see other products like reports or published papers. And so I think that over the years, what we've convinced the federal agencies is that like a gray matter, a gray publication, not gray matter, but a gray publication is not that useful. And what's more useful is if there's some kind of summary, some kind of white paper, some kind of something that gets published in a journal, so that a larger audience, thousands, would be able to be aware of what's going on, what the conversation was. So Jerry will talk a little bit about that in terms of our ideas for a product from this meeting. So occasionally we will do a product that is like a special issue of climatic change, where all the participants in a meeting will submit papers and we do a bigger project. Occasionally we've done a book out of these meetings, but usually an overview paper in a major journal is probably the best way to get the word out about what was the discussion. So I guess one last thought in terms of helping us with our future funding is that if you are publishing a paper where some of the ideas percolated here, sometimes in the references it can be helpful to say that part of the thinking started in the meeting here. Um, so I guess that's all the things I wanted to say, and I really want to welcome you. Thank you for coming, and look forward to a great week.